Brief history of Mindanao Island.
Good day, my name is Rochelle Pedraza, and now we'll be discussing the brief history of Mindanao Island. So we are the group 6, and I am the first discussants. So Mindanao Island is the second largest after Luzon, right? So dako jud kaayo ang Mindanao kay mo nang second largest nga island sa tibuok Philippines, sa whole Philippines in general, I mean. So a few pre-colonial cultures are as diverse as that of Mindanao, which combined influences on Visayans, the influence from the Muslim and the nearby Indians. So most important, it stood in start against the prevailing idea that Philippines society and culture simply didn't exist, or that the people living in the Philippines needed Spanish colonization in advance. Second, it measures north to south and 324 miles kilometer east to west. And also there is a known highest mountain, Mount Apu, 9.692 feet with 2.954 meters, an active volcano. So we are the Philippines, belongs siya sa the ring of fire, because basically kanang daghan kitag volcanoes dinhi og mountains, and one of the most naapili siya sa 7 wonders of the world is Mount Apu. It's because known siya nga highest mountain, and also pod Mount Apu is very famous, especially in Davao City. Daghan kay mga tourists nga naga-visit or naga-hiking sa Mount Apu. It's because kanang nindot jud kay siya nga tourist spot, and also it is an active volcano. So Mindanao also known as a pioneer frontier. Why is it called it is a pioneer frontier? It's because Mindanao has been considered as the country's large expanse of undeveloped fertile lands. So what does it mean? So Mindanao, is very rich of natural resources, like for example kanang daghan kay tag mga crops, mga rices, kanang mga mais nga dali ra motubo diri. It's because fertile pa ang mga lands before, but now burag na usab na siya. It's because lagi sa mga irresponsibility sa human. Next is yes, it has have abundant crops and farming. Mindanao is very known for its diverse mga crops and farming. Diba, makita jud nato diri sa Mindanao ang nindot kaayo mga crops, especially kana mga mais, rice and such. So it has important timber industries and abundant in minerals. Yes, mo nang different parts of Mindanao dara sa may hato dapit katong part of the Mindanao is a city, kay daghan kay siya mga minerals. It's because daghan kay kanang maunang daghan kaayo magmina. Maunang one of the reason nganong nadaot ato ang mga mountains, it's because of like pagmimina. It's because um, technically Mindanao is abundance in minerals. So it has the largest ethnic minorities in the Philippines: Maguindanao, Maranao, um, and Muslim outposts in the predominant um, Roman Catholic Philippines. Groups in uplands. So what does it means? It kanang mauna siya ang mga tao nga layo sa sea. Yes, kanang where dito lang siya dapit sa like mga mountains, nagpuyo, especially mga Tibuli, Subanon, Bagobo, Mandaya, sa mga uplands yun na sila dapit nagapuyo. So, outside of Visayan influence, one of the most elements in Mindanao is the Tibuli, Subanon, Bukidnon, and Bagobo. So, it's a Muslim outpost in the predominant Catholic Philippines. Apart of that, Mindanao also has the largest concentration of ethnic minorities in the Philippines. Mato kung kagaina, they include the Maguindanao, Maranao, Ilanon, and Sangil. So, out of Visayan influence, most distinct elements in Mindanao, it's Moorish influence. Is a Muslim outpost in the predominantly Roman Catholic Philippines. So, Muslims are no longer a majority, right? Islamic culture is evident, but karon halo-halo na ang nagpuyo diri sa Mindanao. There have many mosques and unique brassware, kris, and dagger. So what does it mean by kris and dagger? So it is a distinctive asymmetrical dagger, indigenous. It is symmetrical indigenous. It is a symmetrical dagger indigenous to Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, southern Thailand, and the southern Philippines. Both weapon and spiritual objects. So a kris is often considered as to have an essence or spiritual essence, with some blades possessing good luck and other possessing bad. So, Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, established in 1990, consisting territories in western and southern Mindanao, along with the nearby island of Sulu and Tawi-Tawi. So, the Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, consisting of territory in western and southwestern Mindanao, was established in 1990. Spanish term for Moro. Actually, the what you call that? So in fact, the name Moros is the Spanish word for Moors. The name given by Villalobos to the island of Mindanao in honor of Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire of Spain. So, um, Muslim was Moros was given to the Muslim inhabitants by the Spanish, or the Caesarea Carli was the name given by Villalobos to the island of Mindanao when he reached the sea near it. Caesarea Carli referred to Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire. So I think that would be all. The next reporter will delve more into discussion of the history of Mindanao Island. Thank you.
Good morning. So first, we will tackle about the Moro Wars. So what is the Moro Wars? So the Moro Wars in Philippine history was a series of scattered campaigns involving American troops and Muslim bands on Mindanao. So the Moro Wars or the Moro Rebellion happened during the 19th and 20th century in Mindanao. So ang naitabo kay this event happened because the Moro people who were mostly Muslims kay gina-resist nila ang foreign colonization since dili nila gusto nga mag-change of religion and they want to stick with their way of life, culture, and gusto nila nga ma-preserve ilang autonomy. So we have here the key phases and events sa Moro War in Mindanao. So first, we have here the Spanish-Moro Wars. So this is what I mean nga dili nila gusto mo convert into Christianization which is sikat ato nga time. So what happened here is naglast ni siya nga war for centuries and the Moros were resisting conversion to Christianity and they are asserting their independence ani nga time. So second is the American occupation. So what happened here is the Moros were known for their fierce resistance. And ang kanang mountainous and heavily forested terrain diri sa Mindanao kay nagkapahimo to siya nga kanang difficult para sa American forces nga mag-maintain og control over sa ilaha. Okay. Okay, so we will now proceed in the process of migrants from neighboring Asian countries in Zamboanga, Davao, and Cotabato. Okay, so in Zamboanga, we have here the Subanons. So the Subanons from the Malay region was known to be the early people on the peninsula or the Zamboanga. So ang nahitabuan na time is this is the capital seat of Gobyerno Politico Militar for entire Mindanao and it also became the Spanish garrison because of its strategic location. So we will now proceed with the Davao. So the beginnings of Davao as a distinct geopolitical entity started during the last 50 years of Spanish rule in the country. So ang nahitabo diri kay this paved the way for the establishment of the Spanish de facto government. So in 1848, we have here Don Jose Cruz de Oyanguren. So he is a native that received a special grant from Don Narciso Claveria. So Oyanguren na-arrived siya sa Davao as the head of a colonizing expedition comprising 70 men and women. So Oyanguren's initial attack against Dato Bago's fortified settlement at the mouth of Davao proved futile. Okay, and we have here the Cotabato. So what happened was in 17th century, the Spaniards conquered Cotabato. So on Cotabato, this became a chartered city on June 20, 1956 by the Republic Act number 2364. And on the early 19th century, the Americans started to penetrate Cotabato.
Hi everyone, before anything else, I would like to introduce myself. So by the way, my name is Marcin Avila and this is the continuation of the brief history of Mindanao Island. So, so on June 20, 1959, the Cotabato became a chartered city by Republic Act number 2364. So, the first elected city mayor, KC Datu Mandu Sinsa. And in the early 19th century, Americans started to penetrate Cotabato and eventually made the place as the capital town of the Cotabato province. When the United States reigned over the Philippines after the Spanish-American War in 1898, the United States initiated a policy designed to assimilate the Moro into the Philippine nation and to curb some feudal practices such as slave trading. The attempt of the American to alter the traditional way of the Moro resulted in intransigence and rebellion. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Lumades controlled an area which now covers 17 of Mindanao's 24 provinces, but but the 1980 census, they constituted less than 6% of the population of Mindanao and Sulu. Heavy migration to Mindanao of Visayas, spurred by the government-sponsored resettlement programs, turned the indigenous Lomads and Moros into minorities. Sporadic fighting took place in 1901 and 1903. Moros attacked the American troops near the Lake Lanao in Mindanao. The best known of the American-Moro battles occurred in March 1906 at the top of Mount Daho on the island of Jolo. 600 Moro who had taken refuge inside a massive volcanic crater were killed by the troop under Gen. Leonard Wood. Many women and children were killed in the fight. Wood came under severe criticism in the U.S. Congress because of that. He was later absolved of any wrongdoing by President Theodore Roosevelt. Renewed hostilities occurred in September 1911 and June 1913. Fighting ceased after that, although Moro separatist movement continued into the 21st century.
Americans continued the colonization program on Mindanao. In the 1930s, U.S. authorities encouraged Christians to migrate to the southern region of Mindanao. February 27, 1939, the 62 pioneers came. Jensen with the mission to industriously cultivate its fertile expanse of land thousands more from Luzon.
1984, the large group led by Hasim Salamat declared itself to separate organization called Morocco Islamic Liberation Front MILF. Change in 1986, the MILF sent a message to newly installed administration of President Corazon Aquino to say that it was ready to talk of peace. The government and the MNLF signed a final peace agreement on September 2, 1996. The MILF rejected it but committed not to stand in the way of peace. American continued the colonization program on Mindanao refers to historical period when the United States extended influence and control over the Philippines, including the island of Mindanao.
So, as a continuation of the report, I'm going to tell you about some important things that happened in Mindanao, a place in the Philippines, to try to make peace. This event happened in the years 2000, 2012, and 2014. So, in the year of 2000, there was a complex situation in Mindanao. The government, led by the President Joseph Estrada, faced a challenge. There was a group called the MILF causing trouble in the region. To stop the MILF, President Estrada decided to use the military. He mobilized a large number of soldiers and sent to them to a place called Camp Abu Bakas, which was located in central Mindanao. The goal was to crush the MILF and bring an end to their activities in that area. This was a very serious and difficult operation, and it involved a lot of fighting. So, at the same time, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was trying a different approach. She decided to negotiate with the MILF. Negotiations are like talking and trying to find a peaceful solution to a problem. But sadly, not everyone wants peace. In response to these talks, two leaders from MILF decide to attack mainly Christian areas in Mindanao. This made the situation even more complicated and dangerous. So in the year of 2012, in October, something significant happened. This was during the time of President Benigno Aquino III. He and his team worked hard to try to bring peace to Mindanao. In October, they achieved a major milestone. The government and the MILF leaders signed an agreement at the official home and office of the president, which is called Malacanang. So this was a really big deal because it was the first time the MILF leaders came to the president's house to talk about peace. It showed that both sides were serious about finding a peaceful solution to the long-standing conflict. So, in the year 2014, let's talk about 2014. In that year, both the government and the MILF took another important step towards lasting peace in Mindanao. So, they signed something called the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro or CAB. The Bangsamoro is a place where most of the Muslim people, also known as Moro, live in the Philippines. This agreement was like a big promise. It aimed to address all the problems and disagreements from the past. So, give more power to the Bangsamoro region to make it its own rules and help different communities live together in a peace. So, this event in 2000, 2012, and 2014 were part of a long journey to make peace in Mindanao. It's not easy, and there are still challenges to overcome, like helping former MILF fighters become part of regular society and making sure everyone trusts each other.